We are live. Welcome to Helium's Hot Air Show, episode 6. Shopify's Winter editions just dropped, and we've got all the juicy details. We've got summaries. We've got some speculation as to what it all means for you, your store, and the future of Shopify and the ecosystem as a whole. As always, my name is Benjamin Thornburg, and beside me is a man who knows more than he wants to admit about shrimp welfare, Brett Shelley.
Helium's Hot Air Show.
Yeah, it's been a busy morning here at Helium. Shopify dropped their semi-annual editions.
We agreed we'd wear the beanies.
We're going to wear the beanies. That's later.
You're
now. You're jumping ahead.
I'm wearing my beanie.
It's been a busy morning here at Helium. Today, Shopify had their semi-annual feature announcement called Editions Winter 26. I just want to clarify what Editions is because I've seen people asking this question in the
What
past.
is Editions? Let's start there. What are Editions?
Yeah, I've seen people asking, like, how do I get this? How do I update? What do I need to do? That's a great question, and the answer is nothing. Editions is just feature announcements for things that are built into Shopify. Some of them aren't available yet. So if you're like missing something, it might just be like a coming soon feature. Shopify does do that. But a lot of the stuff is available right now or rolling out like within the next day or two. And you don't generally have to do anything. They're just going to start showing up in your Shopify admin, all these new things that you can do. So that's great. Got that out of the way.
Yeah. Think of Shopify Editions as the mommy bird coming back to the nest. You just kind of sit there and wait to get fed type thing. That was on point. My analogies, they're getting better.
Okay, so now the next part, we're going to talk about the beanies.
Can you put yours on first, please?
So if you didn't see the Editions live stream from the Shopify team, we had Toby, Harley, and a couple other leaders over at Shopify talking live this morning about all these new features. And if you're not in the Shopify space, you might have missed it, but the new thing is apparently pink beanies.
Beanies. Get
Shopify
after it.
just put them on sale this morning.
Not these ones.
So we
couldn't get them.
We haven't had a chance to get our official Shopify beanies yet, but we picked up some similar.
I think mine's official.
Beanies.
This paper. Do you want a paper clip and a Shopify?
Some similar beanies, so we can be
sticker
part of the Shopify in crowd.
So it is the Shopify Editions theme was Renaissance. The animations were amazing.
It was actually Renaissance.
Yeah, I said that. But I said mine faster.
Renaissance.
Really funny. Shopify loves Easter eggs, and the price of their pink beanies, I was about to point to mine, not mine. Their pink beanies is $14.52, the year that Leonardo da Vinci was born. If you haven't gone, go to shopify.com/editions/winter 2026. The animations are amazing. It's a beautiful site. They spent a lot of time on it. It's gorgeous. You should get in there. It's a little overwhelming. They released a ton of changes. We're going to go over which ones are important to you. And in future episodes, we're going to unpack certain ones as they give us more information, because a lot of the times in Editions, like Brett was saying, they'll just tease something or Easter egg something and you won't know what it means until later. So let's get into it. Let's start with some major AI improvements to the ecosystem. I think those affect our merchants the most. Do you want to start rollouts A/B testing?
Yeah, so obviously, AI is kind of the big thing in tech right now. Everyone's using AI. All these new AI tools are coming out, and Shopify, is on that train as well. So they announced several like really cool AI tools. And the thing I love about what Shopify is doing here is like so many of these like big AI things are enterprise level tools or something. Like you're signing up for this enterprise service or something, and like these Shopify tools are going to be available to everyone. These mom and pop shops that are selling their handmade little trinkets on Shopify or whatever are going to have access to these like huge robust AI tools, and it's so cool. So yeah, we're not going to dig in super deep to these today, but we just want to highlight like some of the things coming out here. So Rollout is what you mentioned. This is basically like a scheduling tool. So that's been something that's been missing on Shopify for a long time. To be
specific, a scheduling tool for your themes, not just like hey, you have dinner tonight with your wife, don't forget.
Yeah, so we just had Black Friday, right? And I'm sure there's people out there that are like, hey, I have a Black Friday sale that should start at midnight or, it's a Black Friday doorbuster that starts at 3 a.m., whatever, something like that, right? Did you want to stay up till 3 a.m. to turn that discount on or to make some change in your theme or something? No, nobody wants to do that.
Or to remember to take it down so customers
Yeah.
aren't pissed when when it's not applying to them anymore.
So automatic scheduling, that's what Rollout's all about. Really great feature. You can schedule things in advance, schedule changes to your theme, schedule a new discount to go live, all that kind of stuff. Really powerful.
Built directly into the admin. And then with that is the A/B testing, which I thought was great because I send our email marketing for Helium, and I love A/B testing. And this lets you do that with your themes. Is that what they were saying?
Yeah, really cool thing. Like you said, it's a well-known concept in marketing. People have been using it forever, but first time natively in Shopify, you can do A/B testing on your online store. You can set up 2 different pages to sell a product and see which one sells more, right?
Which is sweet. Absolutely sweet. If you're agonizing over like, I really want this image or I really like this description, and one of your friends or whatever is saying, no, this other one, hey, why not both? I love that. The other one, I'm gonna let you say your new favorite app.
Are you talking about SimJim?
He's been saying this all morning since it dropped. SimJim. Talk to us about SimJim. It's making me hungry. I want a Slim Jim.
Benjamin loves Slim Jims apparently, but we're actually going to talk about Shopify's app SimJim.
Oh yeah,
a little bit different than Slim Jims.
Just an L. There's literally an L's difference between those two.
So SimJim, it's AI simulation testing for your shop. So basically what Shopify is saying, and this is all brand new, we haven't seen it in action yet. It's still kind of coming out. So we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but what Shopify is saying here is they're going to use all of their data, which Shopify has how many millions of stores or whatever.
Stupid amounts
lots of data on how people shop. And they're going to feed that into the AI so the AI can test your shop like as if it was like a normal human buyer, someone that would normally visit your shop. You can do testing with AI, and then it's going to give you personalized recommendations on what you can improve on your site. So, like I said, yet to see it in action, yet to see how this actually works. But this sounds like such a cool feature. This is something that we see people asking all the time. Hey, I published my site and I haven't got any sales yet. Or, hey, can I get some feedback from other people that have been successful? All those kinds of things. Now you can do that right in your admin with AI, using all of Shopify's huge database of buyer data, how they interact with sites.
That is a huge ecosystem value add for Shopify. If you're comparing, whether or not to get on Wix or Shopify or a different platform, you're like, hey, can I hammer my site with all of your information and see what's working and what's not? This app, it's an app. It's not going to be in your admin automatically. You're going to have to go out, search it in the App Store, or ask Sidekick, which we're going to get into in a second, and it'll tell you to go there, download the app, and then you can tell it what to do from there.
Yeah, so you mentioned Sidekick there. So that's Sidekick, if you're not using it already, is Shopify's AI assistant. Basically, it's like, your chat GPT, your little chat bot, you can go and ask it questions. But Sidekick is getting more and more powerful. They're adding new features to it. The thing that they're talking about in the latest feature drop here for editions, Sidekick is going to be able to start building apps directly for your store. A lot of times you have to go out and find an app. Hey, I want to do this. It's not built into Shopify. Got to go find an app, sometimes pay for it, figure out how to use it, all that kind of stuff. Now, Sidekick is going to be able to start doing more for you. It's not just going to be a chat bot to feed you a canned answer, right? It's going to say, this is what you want to do. Oh, you can't do that right now, but I'm going to just build you an app to let you do it.
I'm going to do it for you. Yeah, it's really interesting. Sidekick was announced in Summer Editions 2023, and at the time I asked our PM, Kyle Weiskopf, I said, hey, do you think this would be something where it would be able to recommend an app for you? And at the time, he was a little bearish about it, but 2 years later, here we are, and not only can it recommend apps, it can build them. Now, our boss said something interesting. He said, think of it more like a disposable camera and not like a digital SLR type thing. And I think that's a cool way to think about it. If you want to do something very, very niche, very specific, it might be able to get you there now with a little bit of finagling, because with all AI tools currently, you really have to know what you're getting at and how to get there. The other cool thing, I was messing around with Sidekick before we got on, and I said, hey, can you build me this app? And it said, hey, this app already exists. Have you considered this, this, and this? And gave me the pros and cons for each app. That's really powerful. So now, instead of just being, mainly when it was dropped in 2023, it was a chatbot pulling answers from the Shopify community and also their help docs. Now it's got all of that in its sleeve, and it's also got the App Store under its belt. And it's just pulling. You're absolutely right. It just got juiced. It's becoming more and more powerful, and it's a weapon. And it's right on the top. If you go to Shopify admin, it's the top right. It's a little thing that looks like it's a robber. It's going to steal things from you. I still disagree with that icon, but whatever.
Yeah. Sidekick is just getting so good. So many new things coming out. It's really helpful. And like I said, it's so cool for just the average Joe to be able to access all of these features, all these like really, really good AI tools. These aren't things that are being hidden behind gates and paywalls and stuff. Shopify is making these available to entrepreneurs out there.
Everyone.
Yeah. So that's awesome to see. I love it. Yeah. So I have a couple other things to highlight real quick. Some other cool things that I saw. SMS marketing, obviously that's getting huge. Email marketing has been around forever. People have been doing it. SMS is getting more and more popular. So Shopify
that's because it's way more effective.
Yeah. So Shopify has now made SMS marketing available in their like standard Shopify messaging app. So that's getting easier to do. So that's great. There's also a cool thing Shopify released called Shopify Product Networks. So this is another new thing. We're not super sure. We haven't seen a lot of it yet. Don't know exactly how it's going to work, but this is essentially a way to cross-sell other products in your store. So like, for example, Toby was on this morning talking about it, and he was talking about how he used to sell like snowboards, and he would sell bindings and all those kind of things that go with snowboards, but he didn't sell things like snowboard clothing and stuff. So that's like a gap in his store. If somebody's on there searching for snowboards, they might want some of that snow gear, snow clothing kind of stuff.
Right.
So now with this new Shopify product network, what you should be able to do is you should be able to tell Shopify to add other products from other shops on Shopify and surface them directly on your store. So if somebody goes on Toby's store and searches for snow coat and he's not selling it, he can have it set up so that snow coats from another shop will actually show up right in his shop. Wow. So it's a great way to fill gaps that people have. Not every store is obviously going to sell everything, but you're going to help the customer find what they want. And obviously the end goal there is that they're going to purchase more. They're going to complete the purchase on your shop. You're going to be saving those sales for somebody that can't find what they want, and they end up being able to find it using this new product network feature.
That's
super
fun.
Cool. Again, don't know exactly how it's going to work. It's a new thing.
Like the royalties.
Super excited to see more about this, see it in action.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's what I think they ended up saying there was about 200 things in this release. So like Benjamin said at the beginning here, like I would definitely encourage you, if you haven't, just take a few minutes at least and scroll through the page and look for things that are relevant, because everyone I think is going to find something different in there depending on what you want to do, right? So we've highlighted some things that we think are cool, but you go in there, you might find something that's super important to your business that we didn't even catch, right? They also released and talked about some new developer tools, so that's exciting. Shopify developers, and we're talking about like third-party developers like us here at Helium, right? We're building apps, we're building themes. There's all these developers in the space that are helping people build sites, and Shopify is continuing to release new tools for them. One of the things is Sidekick extension. So we talked a lot about Sidekick already. This is a cool Sidekick feature for the developers out there. Now, if you have an app, you can build an app extension that integrates with Sidekick. So basically that means you can hook up data that you have in your app with Sidekick, so the merchant, it makes it easier for the merchant to interact with the data, perform actions, all those kinds of things. It's really taking a lot of the same things that people have built in their apps and making it AI first to make it easier for the merchant to use it.
So would example of that be like, I don't know, you have a CRM customer, like a management software, and it can talk better to Shopify back and forth? I'm trying to think of like
Yeah, so
a good use case would be.
we could just take that example. So like if you have a CRM, you're keeping track of customers and customer data or something in a third-party platform outside of Shopify, HubSpot or Salesforce, something like that, right? If they built an app, Sidekick app extension, that doesn't necessarily mean that the app is going to talk to Shopify any differently, but it means that now the merchant can use Sidekick, the AI assistant, and they can maybe go in there and ask a question about their customer data that's hosted in HubSpot, right?
Oh, interesting.
Or they can search for a customer, and maybe that customer doesn't even exist in Shopify, but that customer exists in their HubSpot CRM. And like now that data is available for Sidekick to use. So the merchant can find things and even like potentially perform actions to interact with HubSpot through Shopify Sidekick.
That's cool.
Directly in the Shopify admin.
That's cool. I always think of it as like keys, where you have like all these closed doors where you go from one, like your Shopify door, you close that, and then you open up another door when you go into an app. And I feel like this is just like connecting those rooms or breaking down walls or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
They're letting developers in. Developers are going to
around.
start building stuff, and it's just, we're gonna start seeing more cool stuff coming out because there's so many creative, so many brilliant people out there that are going to build amazing tools with the things that Shopify is making available.
I love it. I'm excited. I'm here for it. Agentic commerce. What's agentic commerce?
Yeah, so Agentic Commerce, if you haven't heard of it yet, it's another new thing from Shopify. They've been kind of rolling out some previews and some announcements about it for a little while now. But this is the kind of thing that is going to allow completely new shopping experiences. As opposed to a customer like going to a website, they're going to go to heliumdev.com and buy our cool Helium swag. That doesn't exist right now.
I was like, can we do that?
But we want to do it. That'd be
want
cool.
A sweatshirt.
Instead of going to our website and buying our cool stuff there, they're going to just ask their phone, right? The Siri on their phone or whatever. They're just going to say, hey, I want to buy this kind of product. And then the agentic commerce part. So when we're talking about AI, it's like an AI agent, right? So the AI agent is going to go find a product for you to buy, and you're just going to buy it there. Right. So that's agentic commerce. The agent is going to help you buy something, and it's just all going to happen seamlessly. Yeah, it's kind of this whole new way of shopping as opposed to having to find a product, go to that site, check out there. So Shopify is releasing lots of new tools for that. They have a catalog API that is going to be exposing products for like AI agents to be able to find. They have checkout kit for developers to be able to build. It's like a pop-up checkout experience. So like you could be on some other site or in an AI chat or something, and someone could use Shopify's checkout kit to just pop up a little like checkout experience right in there. You don't have to go to a different site. You don't have to open a link and go somewhere. It's just going to pop up a little checkout right there.
I had the thought of you're in GPT or whatever you're hammering. You're comparing something, right? What is the best insert here for me? I'm a backpack for hiking. I weigh this much pounds. This is how many miles. Goes through and says, here are all the considerations. Here's all this stuff. And then now with Agentic shopping experience, it can say, hey, do you want to buy any of these? And then in addition to that, the magic of Shopify with the Shop Pay and the quick checkout and the secure checkout, just go click, 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 done. That's crazy. That's really exciting. I'm curious. I can hear the merchant over my shoulder just being like, how could I add my products to that? We don't know any of that yet. That's a great question. I'd love to unpack that in another episode or ask Toby when he's on the hot air balloon with us. We're wearing the hats. Also, someone from Shopify, send us hats, please. Thank you. There's so much more to unpack. Subscribe for that. We're gonna unpack other things as we go. And
say it again, but like I'm so excited, like all these new things coming out. It's so exciting to follow up on some of these things, see how they actually turn out, going from seeing an announcement about it to actually being able to try it out. Really excited for AI and all the things that are happening. So yeah, excited to come back and, be back here soon and actually get into the nitty gritty of some of these things once we see a little bit more.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment below what things you're most excited about at this Shopify Editions. Obviously, we didn't cover them all, so if you have something you're like, hey, why didn't you talk about this? I'd love for you to do that. We will do that. We listen. We respond. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.